Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Just another struggling writer. The Bleeckert Authors one-stop shop for commiseration and hopefully inspiration. My name is Carrie Scher, and I am just another struggling writer. And hello from my new writing space. At least I hope. This is my new cozy little recliner in my cozy little corner in my living room that is at a disadvantage from seeing the TV. So I plan to only sit here when I want to concentrate, ideally on reading or writing. Hello, if you're new here, my name is Carrie Scher. I am a aspiring fantasy author, currently working on my debut fantasy novel, Seekers of Empyrean. And this is the start of another weekly writing vlog, one in which I hope to actually do writing, as the last couple of vlogs have not been especially productive. For those of you who are not new here, you probably already know that April was a bit of an ass kicking for me. Not only was I wrapping up a school term that I found to be very difficult because of the workload, I was also contending with a lot of personal stuff that came up unexpectedly, and I'm still feeling some of those repercussions. That being said, this week I crossed over the 1-year anniversary of working on Seekers of Empyrean. I didn't start the draft until September, but it was in May of last year that I first of all decided that Seekers of Empyrean was going to be the book I was going to put all my focus on, and I started really taking seriously the idea of writing this novel. I did a lot of in-depth world building and outlining in preparation for starting the draft in November, and that all started in May. And crossing over that anniversary comes with a lot of mixed feelings. First of all, pride that I've managed to stick with it for this long. In my past projects, I sort of would pick them up and abandon them within a few months, and being able to cross 1 year is a big milestone in terms of like my dedication and my commitment to this project. However, I did expect to be well finished with the first draft by this point. And so in that regard, it is a little bit of a disappointment that I am here 1 year later and I'm still laboring over the first draft. But as I said before, because this is my first time really putting this much effort and commitment into a project, I'm trying to take the good out of the situation and not dwell so much on the negative, because I am very close to the end. I only have about 24,000 words to get there. I am just starting the fourth act of the 6-act structure, which would be the end of Act 2, Part 2 in the 3-act structure. I'm about to enter into the Dark Night of the Soul. I've got maybe like 1 or 2 scenes to trigger that Dark Night, so I'm very close. And so obviously, this close to the finish line, I'm feeling very hungry to get through it. It's just been a bit of an ass kicking, as I said, in terms of my personal stuff going on, and I have not really been able to sit down and write the way I have wanted to. But it is a new month, it is a new week, and I kind of woke up this morning with a fire in my belly to be more intentional and be more thoughtful with how I'm spending my time. The last couple of weeks, I've talked a little bit about this evening routine that I've sort of formulated for myself. It has now been like 10 or 11 days since I came up with it, and I haven't really stuck to it in the ways that I wanted. I've made a little bit of strides. I do come home from work, change my clothes, pause. The hazards of filming in the living room before bedtime. Anyway, where was I? I think I was talking about my plan and how I haven't really stuck to the plan or the routine since I conceived of it, but I have made some progress and some strides, particularly when I first get home. I am coming home and getting changed and immediately doing some chores around the house. I'm the kind of person where if I come home and I sit down, it's over. I am not getting up again to do physical work. So I know that if I'm going to do any sort of housework, dishes or folding laundry or any sort of tidying up, I need to do it before I sit down and do anything else. So that has been something I've pretty well stuck to. Come home, change clothes, and immediately set upon doing some tidying up. And then I've done okay with the editing as well. Where I am stalling out is later in the evening when I am supposed to be writing and relaxing. The last 2 items on my agenda have been pretty much forgotten about. But as I said, it is a new week. It's a new month. And I am coming at this with renewed energy to set myself up for success again. So with that in mind, today's schedule has been a little bit thrown off because I am severely behind in my editing. And my filming. So my plan is to do a little bit of writing now, take a break once the kids go to bed to film another video, which I wanted to do again out here in this space and hopefully not get interrupted because they'll be in bed, and then edit that video so that I can be back on schedule, because tomorrow I actually have a big evening with my daughter. We have back-to-back meetings for the 2 intensive choirs that she's going to be in next year, very similar to how it was this year. So I'll be at her school from 5:30 to about 8:15. That's going to throw off my whole thing, and I'm not going to have time to edit and get a video posted by 7:30 tomorrow. I need to film and edit it tonight. So I'd like to get a little bit of writing done now while the kids are still up, and then take a break to do that, and then come back and do the rest of the writing after I'm done. Fortunately, I don't anticipate the video taking very long to film or edit. Hopefully, it won't take too much of a chunk of time. So that's kind of where I'm at, and that is kind of my goal. Like I said, I'm really feeling inspired to get back on track. The new school term also started today, and my only class is macroeconomics, which the textbook said I may want to refamiliarize myself with some graphing skills, and I'm really dreading that because that is not what I'm good at. That's not the kind of math I'm good at. But I did do, I've looked ahead at the requirements for this week. I'm feeling kind of like I'm getting back into the groove. The only question is how I'm going to feel when I open up the draft, because I have really struggled with it lately. I've felt really blocked and really disconnected. So even though I do plan on writing for 1 hour tonight, I am dubious that I'll hit any significant word count, just because I'm going to have to spend a lot of extra energy re-immersing myself. But it's the effort that counts, especially right now. Once I'm fully back and integrated into it, then I can worry about hitting big numbers. But for right now, it's more about just being present and committing to sitting down and doing the work. So I'm going to stop rambling, and I will check in with you. Maybe I'll check in with you. It really just depends on how long that editing takes and how much time left over I have to actually write. So I may not check in with you. The next clip of me may be from my car tomorrow morning. Good morning. It is now Tuesday morning, and as you can see, I did not come back and film last night. And there's a good reason for that, because I didn't finish editing until almost 11 o'clock. And I'll be honest, I was very tempted to call it a night, but even with everything that I was doing, it didn't feel right to go to bed without making an attempt at writing. Because once again, I did everything else. I did reading, I did housework, I did filming, I did editing. Why should all of those be prioritized over writing? So at 11 o'clock, I sat down and I didn't do much. I set a 15-minute timer and I wrote for 15 minutes. And that 15 minutes was actually really productive. I got over 300 words. If you extrapolate that out to what I may have gotten in an hour, it was a really productive session. So I'm glad that I did. And I've also moved past this point in the scene that I'm currently in, that I've been I wouldn't say stuck, I just don't feel very drawn to or motivated by, and into the portion where it's actually forward momentum. The first part of the scene was just recapping what happened and dropping small bits of information. So now I'm finally moving into a more interesting part. That's it. Not a very exciting update, but I am proud of myself for working, even though it was late and I wanted to go to bed. Now, as I said yesterday, today my routine is once again going to be a little bit thrown off because I've got these choir meetings and I won't be home until almost 8:30. So that will eat up all of my flex hours and all of the time I normally allot for making dinner and tidying up the house. Fortunately, I got a little bit of extra housework done yesterday, so I think I can use that to not do that today. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably come straight home and get into editing, use my hour of editing time that I have blocked out in my routine, and then hopefully get fully on track with the filming and then writing for 1 hour and then bedtime. So that's my goal. I'm saying it out loud. Atomic Habits says if you say it out loud, you are more likely to actually do it that way. So to reiterate, I'm going to come home. I'm going to immediately start editing. for 1 hour and 1 hour only, even if I don't finish editing the video. Fortunately, I caught up yesterday, so I'm all caught up. So 1 hour and 1 hour only, even if I don't finish the video. Then I'll film a vlog update. I do also need to film a reading wrap up for my other channel. And then from 10 to 11, I will be writing, editing, filming videos, writing for 1 hour, wrapping up and going to bed. Saying it out loud. Time to get started with my day. It's so dreary outside. It's been raining all week and it's miserable. I'm kind of tempted to turn my light off and just vibe kind of with just the lamp. I had to do that the other day because I had a migraine and I kind of enjoyed it. I got the lo-fi radio on. It's kind of chill. So anyway, I'm gonna get started with my day and I will talk to you later tonight. Okay, so I have identified a problem with writing in the chair because last night I fell asleep. Listen, I got all my stuff together. I was in the chair. I had my blanket and I had the fireplace on because it was cold. It's been like really cold and rainy and it was like actually like 59 degrees and I was like, that justifies the fire being on. And I got my laptop open and I realized as I was like reviewing Monday's words that I've accidentally, it's not quite a plot hole, but I've given myself a little bit of a jam to work out of with this next portion. Not super a big deal. I can still proceed with the scene. I just need to kind of readjust my approach into this next portion. I had my computer on my lap and I was kind of thinking through that, trying to decide how I was going to navigate this transition into the next part of this conversation that they're having. And I fell asleep. I was leaned back in the recliner. I had the fireplace on and some writing music, which I always like to be really cozy and ambient. And next thing I know, for some reason, the ambient music is gone and 2.5 Men is on. I don't know if the remote just fell under me or what, but I did something because I did not turn that show on. And it was like 11:45. So I don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened, which is so funny because I've never fallen asleep while writing in bed before. How did I fall asleep in the chair? Anyway, so no words. I'm still kind of thinking through. I don't even know if I came up with anything to solve my problem either. So I guess that'll be today's task. The good news is today is the first day in a while where I really feel like the bones of the routine that I came up with are actually there. I don't have anything interrupting the routine. I do have my daughter's weekly appointment, but I have also kind of built the routine around this appointment because it takes 2 hours out of my day. And that is like the entire basis of the flex hours from 6:30 to 8:30. And so for the first time, it's like, yes, come home, change clothes, do housework, make dinner, leave at 6:30, get back at 8:30, edit for 1 hour. Like everything is like to the minute accurate to the routine that I came up with because Wednesdays like today are sort of the basis for the whole thing. Okay, you don't need to tell me that. I think today could be a really productive day and it could be a really like good day to reinforce that routine. So I'm gonna get inside, I'm gonna start my day, and I'll check in with you later tonight at approximately 9:30 after I've done my hour of editing. Hello, good morning. Fancy seeing you here in my car outside my work on a Thursday morning. I don't know why these morning car check-ins have become a thing, but I am not going to turn down any sort of system that is working, at least in the moment. So here we are. So last night, as I mentioned, was the first time where I was really able to implement the routine in its intended form, where the 2-hour block was used for what it was originally meant for, to account for my daughter's weekly appointment. It was interesting to see how I would stick to it. And I did pretty well stick to it. I got home, I changed clothes, I made dinner, I did some cleaning up. I took my daughter to her appointment. I read a little bit of a book at her appointment. I came home, I started some video editing. The edits took a little tiny bit longer than the hour that I allotted, by about 15-20 minutes. So that's part of the reason that I didn't film a vlog last night, is because the editing spilled over into the portion of time that I had allotted for vlogging. And then I got settled in my recliner with my computer and my blanket and did some writing. I did leave my computer open for the full hour. I will say there were some distractions. I had the hockey game on. Hockey playoffs are right now. I was also just not really feeling it. I very much wanted to go to bed, but I wanted to stick to the routine and see how I could make it work. So I didn't get a ton done in 1 hour, just over 500 words, 519, I think. I just came short of the 82,000 word mark, but I'm not pressed. And that was kind of my evening. Then I got up and I got to a point where I was kind of struggling to think of any words. So I knew that pressing myself wasn't going to do much more good. So I closed my computer and finished the hockey game and went to bed. So all told, it was fairly successful. I stayed on task. I stayed within the binds of the routine. Happy about that. Tonight, my daughter has a choir recital and my son has another audition for theater. Tonight's routine is going to be a little bit thrown. Normally, my youngest would have swimming lessons as well, but I think we're going to have to skip because the recital is going to go over swimming lessons time. So we'll kind of see how it plays out. And then tomorrow, I actually have my daughter's choir banquet that she wants me to go to. And I didn't realize until yesterday that is from 5:30 till 10 p.m. I'm gonna lose pretty much my entire Friday night. It'll be fun, it'll be good. I'm really excited for her. We're gonna be announcing some awards and I know she'll get a medal, at least one medal. Anyway, so I'm really excited for her. I'm just like, 4.5 hours is a long time to be spending with middle schoolers. But anyway, I'm gonna lose all of that. So today needs to be productive. So I'm gonna go inside. I've got a little bit of, I haven't even talked about my homework situation. I have been on top of my homework this week. I've kind of been using my lunch to do the reading. There were 3 chapters that needed to be read this week, and then I've got a quiz and a discussion post. And so every day this week, I've been doing a chapter of reading every day. And then today I'll do the discussion post because it's due today. And then tomorrow I'll do the quiz. And then over the weekend, probably on Sunday, I'll do my discussion responses and I'm done. I cannot tell you how much. Now, I was going to say how much nicer it's been and how much easier it's been. Now, I will say that it's macroeconomics and I anticipate my brain not being able to comprehend the math. Already they were like, oh, you should refresh yourself on your graphing skills. And I was like, oh, fuck. I think there will be some struggles with the material, but there will not be a struggle with the time commitment. At least that's what I'm finding so far. I mean, it's the first week, but I think if I can maintain that part of it where I'm parsing out the work over the course of the week and the fact that it's not competing with another class, it's going swell. I will check in with you probably tonight. Hey y'all, can you guess what day it is? It's Monday. I did not write a single word this entire weekend. Friday night was all about my daughter. I got home a little bit early to start getting ready for her choir banquet, and we were there until about 10:30. So that was pretty much my entire evening. And then when I got home, I pretty much got in bed. It was a good time. It was a really good time. I'm really proud of her. I would love to show you pictures. She looked amazing, but it was a good time, and she got kind of a big award toward the end of the night. So it was a really good night. I'm really proud of her. It was really fun. So that was Friday. And then Saturday, I don't know, I was just like feeling mental reset. So I slept in until like 11 o'clock, which I never do. I am normally awake at like 7, and I have to get up and do something if I want to be able to go back to sleep. But for some reason, I woke up at 7. I got up, I went to the bathroom, and I got back in bed, and I just laid in bed until like 11 o'clock. And that is not the norm for me. So I got up, and then what did I do? I was doing something. Oh, I was scripting a video. That's what it was. I knew I needed to script a video, so I scripted it with the goal of recording it later on Saturday or on Sunday. So I did that, and then I was like, I've got some money on my clinical trial card. So they pay me $100 every time I go, and they put it on a little card, almost like a gift card. And I was like, I've got some money, and I kind of want to go do a little tiny bit of shopping. So I took my daughter thrifting, and we got some stuff. I had also intended to record a little mini haul for you guys, and I never did. Like I said, working was not happening this weekend at all. Scripting that video was like the last bit of work that I did, and I'm serious. So we went thrifting, and then we came back, and I picked up my other daughter, and we went to the bookstore because she got a gift card for Half Price Books in her stocking at Christmas, and she immediately lost it. It was under the couch, as it turned out, and when we moved out the couch last weekend, we found it. So we went to the bookstore. I got some books. Again, I was going to film a little haul for you guys, and we got home, and I watched baseball, and I did some cross stitching, and I did that for like 6 hours. And that was Saturday. And I was kind of like, all day I was like, okay, after this, I'll get up and record. Or after this, I'll get up and edit. Or after this, I'll get up and write. And it was like that all day. Until I finally went to bed, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I just needed a mental reset day. Maybe that's just what I needed. And then Sunday was Mother's Day. So I got up, and I decided to get donuts for everybody. I woke up, and I was just craving donuts. So I went and got some donuts, and then I sat down and edited a video. So that was the last bit of work I did. Then my kids brought me a mini bundt cake for Mother's Day and a card, and that was really nice. And then I took a nap, and I was down. I took like a 3-hour nap. It was a long nap. And then I got up, and I did some laundry, and got the groceries, and watched baseball, and then I watched hockey, and I just cross-stitched, and I didn't really do anything. And then as we were getting towards the evening, and I was like, okay, I really need to buckle down, finish the hockey game. Then my ex and I had to kind of sit down with my son and have a come to Jesus talk, because he's failing a class and school is out next week. So we had to kind of be like, what the fuck, man, and get him kind of straightened out. And that took like 2 hours. And then it was 10:30. And then I just took a shower and went to bed. So no writing for the last 3 days. And I can't even remember if I wrote Thursday. So it's probably like more than that. But I have some thinky thoughts. I started thinking these thoughts on Thursday of how to get myself over these last 22,000 words that I have left. I would like to have them done in the next 2 weeks. And I have a plan for a 10,000 word week twice in a row, which I'll probably talk more about in the vlog that I'm going to start tonight. And we'll see if that works. But that's kind of what I'm feeling right now, is try it and get a couple of 10,000 word weeks. Now, this coming Saturday, I'm going to lose pretty much the whole day, which is why it's such a bummer that I didn't do anything this weekend. But I've got a work event that I need to attend in the morning. I've got my nephew's birthday, and then I have a baseball game. So I'm going to be out of pocket from the time I get up in the morning until the time I go to bed on Saturday. So that is going to take a huge chunk out of my 10K plans. I wonder if I could do Anyway, so like I said, I'll talk about all that in the vlog I start for tonight. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate it. If you like my content and want to support the channel, please like and subscribe, or consider leaving a comment down below. As always, I have no idea what is coming next on my channel because I don't plan that far ahead, but whatever it is, I hope you look forward to it, and I will see you then. Bye.